Well, CeCe McDonald just turned 25.
Yeah.
And why don't you she actually wrote this.
We have to kind of say who she is. I'm sure that
Okay.
not a lot of people are going to be familiar with her, which is so surprising for us, of course, because
Right. Oh, surprising for us.
it is surprising for us because we would hope that CeCe McDonald is someone that everybody
Household name.
should know by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want me to go ahead and read the description? Here?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's go over who CeCe is.
Okay, this comes from Support CeCe, that's CECE, supportcc.wordpress.com. It's a really nice site that's tracking and working with CeCe McDonald in prison. So I'm just going to read a brief description of what happened.
Okay.
Around 12:30 a.m. on June 5th, 2011, CeCe was walking to the grocery store with some friends, all of them young African American and LGBTIQ or allied. As they passed a local bar, the Schooner Tavern, a group of older white people who were standing outside the bar's side door began hurling racist, transphobic, and homophobic slurs at them without provocation. And these people suggested that CeCe was, quote, dressed as a woman in order to rape Dean Schmitz, who was one of the attackers.
Whoa.
When CeCe approached the group and told them her crew would not tolerate hate speech, one of the women said, I'll take you, expletive, we'll just say that, I'll take you on. Bad word there. And then smashed her glass into CeCe's face. She punctured CeCe's cheek all the way through, lacerating her salivary gland. A fight ensued during which one of the attackers, Dean Schmitz, was fatally stabbed. The only person arrested that night was CeCe. CeCe was charged with the murder of this person.
She at the time was going to, I think it was hairstyling school. Anyway, she had scissors with her, and she used that to her defense.
Yeah.
And she ended up stabbing the guy through a
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Right, we have to use that word, through a Nazi symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
And
to be sure, the swastika that was tattooed on his chest was not allowed to be used as evidence of his potential racist or homophobic tendencies in the court case.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Going on just real quickly so we know where CeCe is now. After her arrest, CeCe was quickly charged with second-degree murder. There was a huge backlash from communities to free CeCe, and the Hennepin County Attorney Michael Freeman, he's a self-described, quote, Michael Jordan of prosecutors, end quote. He held the power to drop the charges, but because of the demands to free CeCe, he instead did not drop the charges, and he escalated the attack by adding an additional charge of second-degree murder. So real charming guy. In the end, CeCe accepted a plea agreement. She pled guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree manslaughter, which carries a sentence of 41 months. And currently, she's being held in the men's prison in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and may be out because of good conduct, good service in 21 months. And yes, you heard that right. CeCe is being held in the men's facility in St. Cloud, Minnesota. So that being said,
right. Let's she reaches out to the public, and she did that through a letter today.
the other day. It was actually the other day, but
the other day, right? A major milestone, my 25th birthday, and it's posted by Support CeCe, where she says, I'm just gonna read this full on. I'll be turning 25 this month, and for me, being in prison for saving my own life is worth celebrating another year, even if it's in a messed up environment. I feel blessed, no, I am blessed to say that I've lived for a quarter of a century, that through my trials and tribulations, through my life's quarrels, that when I never thought I'd make it past the age of 16, I triumphed over all obstacles, and that in itself is a victory. So for me, this is a major milestone, especially considering the violence against trans women and the injustices of a faulty judicial system. In a society that's been hijacked and distorted by radical religious ideas. I can say that through all the adversity I faced over the course of the time I lived so far, I've evolved and accomplished more than I would have ever imagined. And I can only go up from here now. And it's also a blessing to have such wonderful, loving, caring people in my life. I want to take this time to thank those people who have grown to know me and love me as I do for them. I love you all so much. There aren't even words to express my love and gratitude for you all. Also, to all the supporters around the world, I love you all. And that's just a portion of this letter.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Hearing her words, I don't know, it always makes me feel happy. And one of the things that Support CeCe is, it's an ongoing request. Ari and I have done this, and we're hoping other people will do this too, is to just simply send a birthday card, a letter saying hello, a letter of support to CeCe. And I have the address here, and instead of just saying it, because it's quite a few numbers, I'm going to post it on our Facebook. Which is facebook.com/beyond the binary. We do encourage you to do so. And we're nearing the end of the show. And I just want, there's a couple things I just kind of want to touch on real quick, if that's okay.
Please.
We're hoping also in the future that maybe we can get some of these other people, including some of the prison's rights activists that work with and alongside queer and trans prisoners,
Right.
to interview, bring them on the show as well, to talk about the importance of pen pal work with these trans people
Right,
and queer bodies that are stuck behind bars. So the thing that I want to briefly touch on is the potential starting up of an academic journal called TSQ, or the Transgender Studies Quarterly, which would be an academic journal, the first of its kind, that specifically addresses transgender, transsexual, trans issues across the board from a creative and academic standpoint and perspective, which to me as an academic and as an activist, I find absolutely incredible. Just blown away by this idea. And it's functioning out of, I believe it's located out of Arizona State University, at least where it's being housed right now. And it's going to be hopefully published by Duke University Press. And it's really being spearheaded by trans activist and academic Susan Stryker. And she's been doing wonderful work alongside a whole slew of other people to really kind of get this thing running. And part of the stipulation of getting this publication deal going is that we need to raise a ton of money. And what they're looking for right now is $20,000. And as of this morning, they have raised $13,771 on a Kickstarter. Again, I'll post this on Facebook. But if you find that something interesting that you'd like to support, to kick in a couple dollars, whatever you can lend to support this effort, please do so, because getting this out there really speaks back against other academic journals and medical spaces that want to continue to pathologize in very deeply problematic ways transgender bodies. And this allows for trans activists, artists, academics to speak on our own terms about our own bodies. And so again, I'm going to link that on our Facebook. Well, it looks like we've come to the end of our show.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in if you did.
And we know you did. Again, our Facebook is facebook.com/beyond the binary. Our email address is bthebradio@gmail.com. I'm Benny.
And I'm Aaron.
And we thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.